Hello, everyone, and welcome. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a great day. Oh, I need to change the screen so it shows right. There we go. Thank you for being here. Hey, Julie, welcome. What are we doing? We're working on this 12 by 12 journal. I've started it over a month and a half ago now. If y'all don't know who I am, I'm Linda Israel, and I try to do a live stream once a week on Mondays at 3:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you would, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I'd greatly appreciate it. And at the end of the video, when it's over, come back and leave me a comment of what you liked about today's video. You may see some things going on in the chat. There's a couple of games that everyone can play. You can participate or not, and you accumulate junk bucks for doing so. If you haven't already joined the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group, please check them out. There's a link in the description box down below. There's also links to some of the things that I used for this journal, as well as items on Amazon. So if you're looking for tools and glues and that kind of thing, you can check the description box for links to those on Amazon. And I appreciate it if you use my link, even if you're going to go shopping for something else, because I get a little bitty commission. Doesn't cost you anything extra. It just puts a little bit in the bank, so to speak, and they send me a check every once in a while. Julie's here with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so we've been working on this oversized 12 by 12 journal. It's so big that you can't even really see it in all of the screen. Last week, we ended on this page with this pocket within a pocket, as well as there was a couple of extra pockets in here. So I'm just going to put those back like so. And then on this side, I have not completed everything. I've just kind of piled it all up as to what I thought I would use. This is a cover for a planner from back in 2012. And the planner portion is gone. I think I used the pages for something else. And I just grabbed a bunch of papers. There's some blues and there's some pinks on this side. I don't think I'm going to spend the time to decorate the contents, because those could just be used as they are, or maybe whoever is using this journal can do something with that. But I thought we would do something with the cover. I also have an oversized journal card here that I thought we could put together. And then I think to get the planner cover in the journal, I want to make a pocket on this side that this will fit in. So I grabbed a few little supplies here to decorate it. We kind of did a combination of blue and pink over on the left side. So on the right side, let's do that again with some blue and pink. I'm noticing that I don't have a lot of pink here. And I saw, oh look, Robin's not here. I have a little piece of cheesecloth. So here's my thinking. I will put this along the edge here. I may need to trim it just a little bit. And then we'll do like a little collage. I've got some blue bits. Kind of looking to see how we want to do this. Maybe kind of something like that. And then we can put a word phrase on there. Just kind of make a little collage. So let's do this first. I'm going to line this up with the edge and take my scissors and cut it off. Hey, Jennifer, welcome. So what's everybody been doing this week? Have you been busy creating, or spending time with your family, or spending time with yourself? What have you been doing? So you haven't seen me for 2 weeks. I guess it is. We didn't have last week because Henry and I were on the road. We drove to Texas and were able to finally get my repaired car. It had been moved to a new mechanic several weeks ago in June, and he finally had it completed. So we drove down to retrieve it. We drove a rental car to get us there so that we could turn the rental car in and then go pick up my car and bring it back home. So I'm kind of glad that it's finally, finished. All right, so I think this piece is going to go here. And just to help make sure that it gets dry before I put anything in the pocket, I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. And it's just paper to paper, so I'm going to use Aleene's tacky glue. I'm just going right around the edges here. Oh, neat. Okay, so Jennifer just said they drove 2 hours away to set up geocaches for your grandkids to find. That's cool. I've been interested in geocaching. I believe one of my older brothers is okay. It's not that I don't believe. He is a scoutmaster, and I believe that with the group they did some geocaching. It was teaching the children how to use a compass and navigation in order to find things, and so that's kind of cool. I bought a specialty compass thing for Henry a while back. We've never used it. I think it's still in the brand new package because I thought maybe that would be something fun we could do. I think there's a Facebook group or a website that you can go to, and they will share with you I don't know if it's the latitude and longitude of where it is or if it's other kind of clues that you get. But it's kind of cool. That's really cool. Now, do you participate in geocaching, Jennifer, or did you just decide because this would be fun for the grandkids to do? That's kind of fun. Had classes on it in high school? That's cool. I don't think we did anything. I don't recall, unless it was part of science class, where we did any geocaching in the past. I found this little scrap. It's funny how I found this. I was cleaning up and moving things around, and I guess this was caught on something and it just kind of fluttered to the floor. And I was like, oh, well, let's use this little snippet to put something on there in blue. It was too long ago. You don't remember any of it? I know we've talked about it. Maybe that's another thing I need to bring up with Henry again is we should revisit the idea of doing some geocaching. Now that we have an electric car, it doesn't cost us near as much because we can charge our car at night at home, and then we usually drive somewhere the next day or whenever, and when we get back home we charge again. So we have to plan how far away we can go, or we have to charge our car while we're away. So that might be something to do. All right, I'm going to get some words. See what we can do. Yeah, and that kind of funny. I just found it. I was like, oh, what is this? It was a hanger on. What do we got? Nature, grow. How about, oh, here we go. How about field notes? And I can just kind of put that right there. That'll work. How to navigate with a compass. I don't think we ever did anything in what I was involved with. Now, my younger brothers, may have done a scouting thing. But see, back then, they didn't let girls participate. It was a boys' club. Okay, so there's the elements. This was already on the page. It's just some scrapbook paper. So now let's decorate this little piece. So I was thinking about how I wanted to do this. I found a gel print, which I thought was funny because it's blue and pink. And I know on your screen, it probably looks more purple. I've made adjustments. It doesn't seem to work, but it's more in the blue, not more in the purple here. And I thought, well, that would be kind of cool as a background to this. And then I had this piece is one of Calico Collage's little journal pages. It's half of a page. I just cut off the other side. And then I don't know where this came from. It was just a scrap. And then this was something that somebody gave to me. And I thought, well, maybe I could kind of collage this on the front. And we could get out some more word phrases. Maybe we could use the word journal and put it like that on the front, even though technically it doesn't have, you know, a folded page inside of it. It has the pockets. So I'm looking at this. I think I'm just going to glue it all together. Now I'm going to need a specialty glue for this portion because it's plastic. Okay. So I'm going to use some, what do I got? I got Fabri-Tac. I got the 3-in-1 glue. Julie says, hey, you know what? I changed where I keep my small scraps. Do you think I can find it? No, I had to start up a new collection. Well, a while back, behind me, I made these little drawers out of cardboard boxes that I decorated and cut the tops off. And I noticed the other day that one of those drawers I labeled small scraps. So, yes, I make scrap piles everywhere, Julie, not just in one little spot. So every once in a while, when I find some scraps, I try to put them in the drawer. I thought I saw it yesterday. Here it is. So, and what's funny is that's not scraps. Those are fussy cuts. But there's a lot of just random scrap pieces in here. And I think, you know what? I haven't done this in a while. Maybe we should, next week, if I have this finished, do something with the scraps. It might be time to do some more snippets and journal cards and clusters and that kind of stuff. Okay, I like the way that looks. And then I want to put this on top. And we're going to put it in the middle. And we're going to use the beacon glue again because it's an acrylic gel print. And it's a real one, not a copy. And Aleene's tacky glue doesn't like to stick to acrylic paint. So I'm using that specialty glue. This page is going to go pretty quick, I think, because I had it all planned out. Okay. And I think I just want to glue those together and then layer them on top. This is paper to paper, so I'm going to use the Aleene's tacky glue here. Grab a handful and make things from them. Well, I've done it before. So we can do I think that's what we'll do next week is I'll pull that little drawer out and I'll set it on my desk and make things based off of what I find in that little drawer. Oh, I know what we could do. Do I want that? That kind of just blends right in. But I've got, this is the right way, maybe a little piece of lace. Should it go to the side or Should it go out this side where the torn spot is? Or I could go across the bottom and then place either the journal on the lace or above. Which way do I want to do it? All right, let me get my fabric scissors out and I'll just cut this. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue across the bottom here and then kind of put the lace in the glue. And since the lace is kind of a, what I call that, an acrylic polyester made, it's not cotton, so tacky glue doesn't like to stick to it very well. But we can make it do that. And then I think put that over there. Oh, on the torn side. Well, you were too slow, Julie. Too slow. I think I like it like this. Smush it down. Okay, let's see if I got that. Yeah. Now, do I want the journal up there or up here? I thought I saw, I don't know if this is big enough. Just a little pop. It's a different shade of pink, but it's still kind of a pink. Or, what is this one? Nope, nope, nope. I have this one. I think I like this darker purpley pink. So let's use that. And I'm going to trim it. There we go. And then that'll be a nice little color to the back of that. Still pretty either way, right, Julie? I didn't always listen to what you have to say. I guess I didn't read it quick enough. All right, let's put this right here. Kind of fray that edge just a little bit. Just kind of pull the threads. And let's do this side just a little bit. What else have I been in? I've been working on bow ties for dog collars. My groomer, we have a barter system going on. She doesn't have the time nor the knowledge on how to make some bow ties. And so I've been making bow ties that can be attached to dog collars. So I've got a batch of 60 some odd done, and then I've got some others started. I think it's another batch of 60. Okay, I like that. And I'm not going to put it in the pocket yet because that glue is not dry yet, but I think you get the idea. And then we've got this little card. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. It's one of those tear-off pages from a coloring book type thing. And I was just thinking, you know, just adding the color to that. Now, do I want to decorate this paper in the background? I was going to leave the back just this bright purpley pink color. Let me get rid of the paper clip. You like that? Like the fabric, just adding a little bit. All right, I'm going to move this over here for a moment. And I've got this. Oh, I just saw a little butterfly. All right. Do I want to maybe stamp in here Yeah, I think so. I'm going to get a couple of pieces of paper here. And just going to put this down. And let's grab the henna rose, just because it's already out. Oh, I didn't even show you my fingernails. They're a purple, I don't know what you call this. It's not quite eggplant because it's not that dark, although it does look rather dark on the screen. I hadn't worn these. I made them a while back and decided that I wanted to wear them today. I like stamping on plain piece of paper like this because then it turns it into decorative paper relatively easily. So let's see how this looks. And I know I put this pink here. I think that would look good. Now, do we need to do anything on the background here? I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it for now. You like that? I think that looks good. That helped kind of change it up just a little bit. I could do this one too, though. I could get out the henna stamp, or I have a rose, or I don't know. I'm kind of thinking there's not a henna, what is it called? It's a mandala. Let me see if I can find it real fast. Right here. Henna mandala. What did you say? Maybe a couple of little birds. I don't know if I have. I have a little butterfly here. I just saw it on my desk that I thought we could put in here. I think I'm going to stamp this. Just because it'll fill in. Let's see if I can find my big block. Big bad block. Here we go. Yeah, I think next week I want to do some scrap busting and make a few pockets and journal cards, that kind of stuff. All right, so let's stamp. Get this in the picture because this is going to go on this side, so I can stamp this way. So let's stamp this kind of right here. And I'm going to do this because I should have stamped it differently, but you know, hindsight's 20/20. Kind of cover that up a little bit. Now let's see how this looks. I don't know why I put it that way. Let's go this way. And then this. I think that works. It kind of gives that something in the background. She has retired, Jennifer. I have asked her about stamps and the subject was changed. The last time I talked to her, I actually went there because I needed cushion for my stamps, and she still has an inventory of that. I've I know it's too hot right now, but I'm going to try to reach out to her again. And hopefully in the fall, she may want to do an inventory of what she has already made. And we may do something where I know she has a lot of rubber already pressed, but it isn't mounted. And that's a expensive step to take, mounting the stamps. And so I'm going to see if she's interested in just selling the stamps. She also lost a computer that had all of the digital part of it. So it's difficult for her to recreate the labels that she used on the stamps. She lost all of that. And so I'm just kind of like, well, I don't know what we do. You know, I know that some of the catalog I already have the images for, but there's a lot that I do not. Now, I do have some of her catalogs, but not in a digital form. But we could scan in the catalog, and then using that, we could kind of recreate the artwork to make labels for selling her rubber stamps. So that's something I'm going to talk to her in the fall about, because right now that setup is in her garage and I don't think it's fully air conditioned. And so right now the temperatures are over 100 degrees here. So it's a little warm to be working out there. Yeah, so I mean, she's retired too, so she's kind of done with it, if you will. But I think she might be willing to let me help with getting it all online and moving that inventory. She had offered for me to buy her setup, but the time that she offered it to me, the best solution was for me to buy a laser and just create my own stamps as I saw fit. And if I wanted her stamps, just to buy them as I wanted them, and or as customers wanted them, put them together, because I couldn't quite afford buying her company. And it may be something that we may visit again another day. But right now, rubber stamps aren't making that much money online, because people can buy, these cheap polymer clay ones, which polymer ones, they don't last very long, but people don't seem to care. They would rather spend a few dollars every year or two and throw away a set of stamps that doesn't work anymore because it's disintegrated, than to have, good quality rubber that I've had for 30 years. I'm just putting a little cheesecloth behind that butterfly. I thought that would be kind of cute. It's too hot. Too hot. Okay, so then here is a little butterfly. Like that. And I'm just trying to use up a lot of my papers that I have on my desk and around. So then you go back in here. This can go, I'll probably put it behind, but this can go in this pocket on the side here, like so. So now we got this one done. All right, now we're going to flip over to the last two that I need to put together, and then we will work on the cover. All right, so here's my thinking. This page has some sheet music and book pages for the background this side, the paper was really, really thin, so I just put another piece of paper over the top of it to give it some more stability. And then I thought, well, if I put down this blue and then this pink, and then I had this paper that I thought would look pretty across the top, and then I had a little border that's from Calico Collage that I could put up here, and then I have a pocket I could put on this side and something I could put on this side. So it's just trying to get all the pink and the blue. I know this is all blue on here, so since that's all blue, should I spray that to be pink? Let's get out a spray bottle. And if I do that first, I don't have to use my heat tool because I'm trying to save my battery, or save my electricity, that's what I'm trying to say. So let me get some pinks. Got a couple of shades of pink. This one is called Party Pink, if it works. And this one is Teacup. Well, hello, Janice. Welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see if this one works. Oh, it does. All right, I'm going to use this lighter one over it. Okay. And then kind of let that work around. All right, I have a fan going, so I'm going to put it up here, and we're going to put something on it so it doesn't float away. I'll use a paper clip. There. And that way the fan can be drying the doily, and I don't have to use my heat tool. Yeah, shipping is higher. It's so much more expensive now for shipping. And as you said, a lot of people are kind of limiting their budget of things that they're going to buy. So they're not buying as much. I get it. I do. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I think I want to glue this piece down, and it's going to be a pocket. I already put some paper across the top to kind of give it a little more stability. And I want to glue from this line so that my journal card that I want to put in there doesn't get lost all the way down inside my pocket. So we're just going to add some irregular Aleene's Tacky Goo. This journal is 12 inches by 12 inches each page. So it's basically 12 by 24 put together and folded in half and down to a 12 by 12. And it only has 6 papers, I guess, or pages. So if you do 4 times 6, which is 24 pages that I have decorated. Is that right? 4 times 6? 6 and 12 and 12. Yeah, 24. Okay, so this will be drying, but that is a pocket at the top here. All right, and then this page, I want to glue right in this corner, and then we'll glue this one down. All right, glue. It's huge. It's a huge journal. Yeah, it's huge. Okay. I'm just going ahead and gluing these down. This was one of my gel prints that I scanned into my computer. And then this is a real gel print. It's not a scanned copy that I'm putting in here. My doily is starting to dry. I made some adjustments. All right, I need to tilt the fan for a moment. There we go. Don't forget what you're doing, Linda. You got to glue it down. So I'm just going to the edge of the paper here and filling that in. Okay. And then let's start with up here. So my thought was to put this in the middle. And, you know, I could make that a tuck spot. I don't think I want to do it between the two, but behind the bigger blue piece would be good. Yeah, Jennifer, I had asked her what kind, she wanted an oversized journal, and I asked her some colors, and she said happy pink, or happy blue, and pretty pink. So I just chose to do all shades of blue and pink. That's close to what she asked for. Right, Jennifer? I'm just wiping the glue away. I think I'm going to glue that in the middle here. And maybe kind of in the center. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this looks. All right, so I need to center this up right about there. And then my idea was to put that butterfly in the middle. I'm thinking I need a little bit of pink behind the butterfly. No, I don't like that. Okay. I think what I need is like a shape, but not necessarily a doily. I don't have a lot of pink papers left here. Let's see if I've got something in here. Well, you know, I used some of that cheesecloth. Did I use it all? I think I did. I think that's too much of the same color as pink. Maybe it doesn't need anything. This is a doily. Can line it up like that. I think I'm going to use the doily. It's already got some distressing on the ruffled edge. Thank you. It is close. I'm glad you love it, Jennifer. Thank you so much. Okay. So I am just going to put a little bit of glue here. And kind of put it, I'm eyeballing the middle. And then I'll put this over the top of it. What dots here. think that works. And then I have this giant card that I thought would look good because it's also blue, but it should fit right in here. But I didn't want it to sink away and disappear, so I found in my stash one of these page tabs that I had started. And since we've got some blue, let's add some pink to that. I'm going to use some Distress Oxide here. And I'm going to put a glove on, because it seems that I like to get messy. Okay. Add some pink. Okay. Wrong way. It goes over here. I think, do I want to spray that? I'm going to spray it a couple of times with some Tattered Angels. And then let's place this in front of the fan for a moment. And apparently my doily has blown away. It's dry now. Got my doily back. All right. We'll let that dry for a moment. Gloves away. Okay. Go back up there. Save that, because that's going to go on here. All right, so we got these two places. So since the doily is now dry, do I want to place it in the middle? There it went. It's almost dry. I think it'll be dry by the time I put it together. Okay, so now if I place this, or do we want it at the bottom? Okay, I'm going to wait. You tell me, doily, pink doily at the bottom, or do you like it better at the top? Top or bottom? I don't know. But I am going to go ahead, and this is acrylic paint, so we need the specialty glue. So I'm just going to put glue down the sides here. And I think that was made with book pages that I colored with Tattered Angels and stamped over them. Okay. Well, we're split already. We have top and bottom. All right, so now I'm going to put this in the middle. Smush it. Okay. All right, let's see. Do I like it at the top? Or do we like it at the bottom? I think I'm going to put it at the top, and here's my reasoning why. Because when I go to put this in the pocket, I don't have a solid back on this, and if it was at the bottom, it would catch on the doily every time I would pull the card in and out. But by putting it at the top, I can frame my pocket card at the top just a little bit. So I think we're going to do top. All right, Connie says top. I say top. Sorry, Julie, you got outbit. Outvoted. All right, so let's glue this down. So I'm just going to add some dots of glue all the way around. And we're going to center it and place it more towards the top a little bit. Okay, smooth it out. Okay, and then we'll lay this at the bottom here. And I'm thinking kind of like that. All right, so put some glue on here. And here. Sorry, Julie. All right, so that will go in this pocket. All right, so we have this little piece. It's still a little damp. I'll hold it in front of the fan for a moment. I think we should stamp on it. Stamp on it. Come on now, let's stamp on it. So I'm going to slide this over for a moment. Get a scrap of paper. And since I like using the henna rose, we're going to use that. I guess that was a scrap that got glued down somehow. I've been re-watching the Harry Potter movies while I'm in my craft room. I started over a few days ago when I had a few moments I could sit in here, and I'm on the, I think it's the 4th one now. All right, let's see. I want center, so we need 6. So this is 10 inches if I remember correctly. Oh no, it's 11 inches. Okay, so we need, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 5.5 will get me 11. So that would be the center right there. So if I glue that down in the middle, that'll be centered. Okay. Try not to move it. Functionality wins, yeah, because sometimes you have to remember, yes, that may look pretty, but will it make you regret putting it together that way because it caught on everything? Put that there. And smush it. Smush it good. Wipe away the glue. And then I have this little butterfly that I thought we could put on there. Oh, I found some more of the cheesecloth. I don't think the cheesecloth goes with that. Do we want a tiny piece? I have this little piece. No, that covers everything up, doesn't it? I'm just going to glue the butterfly kind of centered there. I could move it down lower, but I think just centered will work. Okay. So now, pick this up, goes back in. All right, so this would go here, and this one will go here. I guess it didn't get glued on the side very well here. I better glue that down. All right, so that'll work. I'm going to take my card out until this is done. And let's slide it on over. This will be the last page, and then we'll do the cover. This page I hadn't quite planned out completely because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. It has a blue background already. That was my base page. I have this pink. I have this blue. I have a doily. I have this collaged page that I made a while back. I have this little blue and bright pink that we can make a tiny, tiny pocket. I don't know. I have a bunch of little cards, and I was trying to decide, instead of making a pocket on the page, instead I could make a bundle and then have this be tied from the back. So it'll be, I'll cut these in half, and that way it will be plenty long enough to go around. I can't get a hold of it. There it goes. So if you will imagine that I trim these pieces to fit, then this little bundle you would untie, and then you could take all of these things off, and this piece would be attached to the page. Now, I don't think we need yet another pocket, do we? Because we could make this piece a pocket behind. Another thing we could do is when I cut these down, and when we glue it down, this whole part could be a real deep pocket. All right, so to start with, I think I need to add some distressings to this doily if we're going to use it. And then I've got to decide if I want to make the back a pocket or just cut these papers, add a little bit to the top here, in such a fashion that we're just decorating the page. All right, so if I start with this page, I was trying to leave a little bit of this blue background here, and then this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, so it could be centered. Then we could put a doily. I don't know if I want to cover it all up though. And then this will be our edge that cuts off. So I could go all the way to the edge if I wanted, or I could bring it in a little bit. Okay. First, I think I'm going to do is cut this piece to be maybe 10 inches. So if I go this way, it does have some text on here, but I was thinking if we did that, I could cut this smaller. Okay. Not keen on ordering online. If it's too runny, Julie, leave the lid open for a little while and see if that doesn't thicken it up a little bit. Like a couple of hours or something. Make yourself a note. Put it where you would see it, so you'll put the lid back on it before you go to bed, type of thing. Okay, so there is a 10 by 10 piece. So do we want to center it perfectly? And then just make a blue piece that's just larger? I don't know. I think so. I'm going to cut this down. Yeah, you got to save money, but at the same time, you know, it's just easier if you can try a few things. If it's too runny, then leave the lid open for a little bit and see if that thickens it up a little bit. You know, and if it's too thick and it's water-based, then you can add water. If it's a like a Fabri-Tac type glue, you can add acetone to it. And Julie, have you looked at homemade recipes? I've never made PVA glue, but I'm pretty sure there's some online recipes showing you how to make your own at home, especially in your case where it's harder to get supplies. I don't know, does that work? And now I don't want to cover it up. I'm thinking instead I'll glue this down, and this will be a big pocket, and I can make a card that this can go on. I think that's what I'd rather do. All right, so let's add some distress inks to these pieces, and I'm going to make one big pocket, and then I'll find some paper I can make into a large journal card. Yeah, leaving the bottle open for a little while, kind of thicken it up. All right, so I've added some distress inks to these pieces. So I think first I'm going to glue these two pieces together so they are together. And this is another digital, I think. Yeah, that's a digital of one of my gel prints that I made a while back. You looked at the reviews and they don't work very well, or you didn't like the process. I get it. Okay, I think that I need to back this with another piece of paper because it's so thin, and I want to make gussets, so why not? I've got a bunch of scrapbook paper laying here. I might as well pick one. I'm going to pick one that isn't my favorite. Yeah, this one is kind of a weird page, so we'll use it. If I can get it out of here. So my thinking is if I glue this behind here, I could use the tabs all the way around. Is that what I want to do? I don't think it needs another blue on blue. So I think what I'm going to do is glue this down and cut off the excess and then fold all those in so I'll have a tab or a gusseted pocket. Yeah, so I'm going to make a pocket And then in the pocket, I'm going to make a giant card that will hold the other smaller cards. All right, first I'm going to trim that edge and this edge. I'll save those scraps. This is my top, so I'm just going to fold down from the top here. Here's my bone folder here. And then I'll fold in the edges, same way. So now what I can do is I can make a large journal card with a pocket on it that we can put in this larger pocket. Okay, one more turn around the edge. Around and round and round we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. All right, so now what I'm going to do is scissors. Yep, this is the top, so I'm just going to cut off that corner, and that corner, and then this corner, and then this corner. Then the very tippy top right here, I'm going to glue that to the inside. The wood glue Carpenter used, the high quality ones, see, I don't know if that is going to be the type of glue you want to use on paper products. I'd have to do some research on it. Not to poo-poo your thought. I would just have to look into it. Okay, so my idea was this is going to be placed on there. Then we're going to place these two pieces on top. I think I like the way that looks. So let's go ahead and glue this down as a large pocket. Alrighty. Glue, glue, glue. I refilled my Aleene's tacky glue this morning, and the glue I used was a little bit runny, so I had to make sure to add some thicker glue on top. All right, let's give that some time to adhere, and while we're at it, we'll do this. I'm thinking that I don't have to have the whole doily behind there, so let's just cut this in half. I mean, who likes to have scraps? Trimming it down. There we go. Hey, thankfully I didn't cut myself. So I'm thinking that what we'll do is put some glue on here first to line this up. And then we'll glue the whole thing down. I am blessed that I live in the United States and Aleene's tacky glue is at our local craft store, or I can order it off of Amazon. I even think Walmart carries it. I haven't been to Walmart in a long time to check, but I'm sure that they do. Okay, trying to wipe up the excess glue. I did not put any glue behind that. I don't know that it needs it, but I'm going to put a couple of dots. Just to kind of help it lay down. Lay down! There. Give that some time to dry. All right, so we need a large card that can fit in this pocket. And I see some of this cardstock I have here. So if we make it 9 3/4 inches wide, and let's make it maybe 11 inches tall. I'll save that piece for a moment. So if I make it 11 inches, or yeah, let's do 11. Let's see if that works. And if it doesn't, you know what? We can cut it again. And if it was too much, it's too late. All right, so my thinking was this could go in the top here. Did I get it to? All right, so it's catching on the bottom. Do I want to fix that? That makes it almost perfectly even with the edge of the page. I think that works. Because then you can pull this out, and then we just need a pocket to put on top. So, what kind of paper do I want to use for a pocket? Gotta put a pocket on it. Gotta put a pocket on it. Gotta put a pocket on it. Well, this is kind of interesting. Oh, you know what I could do? I haven't done this in a long time. Okay, so if I fold this edge over, that is not very straight, so let's do this better. All right, let's make this straighter. There we go. And then if I make oh, I'm doing it wrong, aren't I? It should go that way. Yes, okay. How about something like that? So we've got a pocket here and a pocket there. So in theory, we should be able to put things there as well as behind and make it a nice little layered piece here. So let's add some distressed edges to this. I haven't made these accordion pockets in a long time. And I was looking at a piece of paper earlier thinking that might be a good one. And then here we are doing this one. I think that'll work. Okay. So first I'm going to glue down this little piece across. Like so. Then I need to glue here and here. And I'm going to kind of pinch out that glue and then clean it off. Just to help keep this part down, I'm going to put a little glue on that. Give that a moment to dry. Then my thinking was to put it kind of in the middle, bottom here, on the page. Is that a good idea? Quick and easy. All right, I gotta hurry so I can get the cover done. Put that on here. Again, wipe away the excess glue. For some, it's a little bit runny, so it's spreading a little further than normal. So I'll have to leave the lid off of it tonight. Okay. And while we are waiting on that glue to dry, I'm going to go ahead and add some distress inks to the edges here of our giant card. This has been a fun project, I think. You know, it's not something that I would do all the time because it is rather large, but it allowed me to play in a larger scale. I also was able to use quite a bit of scrapbook paper that I have an abundance of. And I felt like it was good use of that paper. You know, I used a page here for the background and ended up pasting over the top of it. I don't think that's a problem. All right, so I have, this was a card, looks like it got some water on it. And so I found one of these calico collage images and I just trimmed it. So I'm going to glue that together. And that will go in our pocket. So I'm not going to poke it all the way in. I'm just going to kind of place it there. And then this one was made at another time. And then here's a blue one. Here's another pink that can kind of go in there. Another blue. This has a birdie on it, so I'm just going to pop that in there. So all of this will fit down in there. Now, do we need to put, I don't know. I've got this tiny little pocket. I'm going to glue that on the front of this. I don't have anything to put in it, but there's room to put something in it. Let's see if this will fit. I don't know if it will. I have this train ticket. I think it will fit there, so I'm just going to pop it right there for now. Okay, so then this would fit inside here. course, now it's not going to want to go in. Why aren't you going? I was able to get it to go in earlier. Did something get... Gotta turn this around. What are you having problems with? There we go. I got it. All right, I'm going to do something that I haven't done before, which is I'm going to go back to the beginning of my journal, and I'm going to take everything out of it before I make my cover. So I'm just going to pull out all my pieces here, and we're going to place them. How am I going to do this? Yeah, I'm going to place these over here on my side table out of the way. And we're going to put a stencil between each one so I know that it goes on a different page. All right, so pull these all out. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want anything to fall out of the journal as I'm working. And that always happens to me. So I'm just going to pull everything out and lay it to the side. And then we're going to make the cover. And it should be a little bit easier because of the fact that I don't have all that bulk in here. Okay, just there. Because some of these pages are thick. Okay. This one. All right, now this page had lots going on in it. It had like a file folder with lots of stuff. Okay. No, I think that was all that. Yeah. Okay, then this page. And this page. And this page. I know it takes a lot of time, but I thought it might be easier than trying to wield all of the items that are in the pockets in the page and have things fall out. It's like, ugh, don't do that to me. Okay. Next page. I think, yeah, this is right here. This one's not going to come out of the page, so I'm just going to leave it. And while this one's not going to come out either, but I don't want it to get bent. Flip it over. And this had stuff behind and in here. Okay. And here, 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 and here. So y'all get to see me put it all back together in a moment. It's a good thing I had a whole stack of stencils over here. Okay. There. And then the last page. All right, so now this is not near as chunky. It's chunky, but it's not as chunky. I'm going to use a pamphlet stitch binding on this. All right, so I've already done a couple of things prior to the live. One of them being I printed this piece that's going to go on the front, it's on a piece of hard canvas, and I used my new fancy dancy UV printer, and this is textured. I know you probably can't see all the texture in it. It kind of reminds me of an old oil painting. And then I grabbed a whole bunch of supplies for the cover portion. This is going to be my spine. We're going to add more to it. So to start with, I want to add some holes. So this is my stitch pattern, 3 holes. I could do more, but I'm just going to do the 3 all the way down. And I'm going to set this template aside for a moment. Kind of make my holes more obvious. There. I think I may even have a little gold pen here. Is this the right end? I'm not going to see this after I stitch it together because I have some fabric that I want to cover down the center of my stitch that I make. All right, so here's what I have. I've got this piece. I've glued 2 pieces of cardstock together. That's going to be part of my cover. And then I was digging around and I have some more pink. This is text weight paper. And then I have this piece of mixed media paper that I made a while back. And I was thinking of putting that directly on top of it. Or I have a piece of what is this? Burlap. Let me go ahead and pull it out of the package. This was some stuff that I got from Canvas Corp brands, and I had not used much of the burlap in anything. And I thought maybe this would be a good project if I were to cut a square of the burlap and then layer these all on top of each other. That's what I'm thinking. This is 8 by 8 inches. You love it? And I think I'm just going to cut this 9 by 9 and then we'll cut the rest as we go. How's that? So using this guide, and because I have 12 by 12 pages, and I don't really have anything bigger than 12 by 12, my cover is just going to be 12 by 12. Let me make sure that 9 by 9. Okay, yeah, 9 by 9. Okay, got that little piece, and then we're going to rotate this around, cut this piece. Okay, I thought the dark blue would make the gold frame pop better, so I'm glad you saw that. Okay, good. I may need my fabric scissors. Oh, it worked, it worked, it worked. Okay. So this on top of this. So should I make this 10 by 10 or 10.5 by 10.5 and make a smaller pink border? I'm trying to get the layers. I know that on my cutting mat, it's hard to see this dark blue in the background. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to cut this one at 10.5, and then this is just going to be slightly bigger. So let's move that over. I'm going to cut this at 10.5 because I wanted to see more of that pattern that I made. This is where that series where I took the undesirable paper, which was a paper pack from Tim Holtz that I was kind of meh over, and I ended up painting the pages. So then my thinking was just make this slightly bigger, and then we'll center them all. Yeah, the dark blue makes it pop. All right, so if we did, that's 11 inches. And then we would have a 2-inch border, or 1-inch border. Yeah, all right, so let's just do 11 by 11. Okay, get rid of these. All right, so these are all going to go, what is it, concentric, where you lay them one on top of the other? I kind of like that. I'm going to add distress inks to these pages that I cut. And then let's, I'm going to layer them together. Do I want to stitch? I think I'm going to stitch because of the burlap. It will fray, and I don't want it to fray too much. So I'm thinking that if I just put enough glue to kind of hold all the papers in place, then I will stitch down the burlap, and then we will use a glue on the big piece, the cover embellishment. Okay. All right, let's glue these together. Glue them into place. And I'm also, adding more thickness to the cover. I've got a piece of backer board from one of the 12 by 12 paper pads. I saved a couple of them, and I'm going to use that sandwiched between this cover that I'm making and the inner guts of the journal. Glue, glue, everywhere there's glue. Let's do the bone folder. Okay, try not to put too much glue on this one. I'm going to have to add some more of the drier glue. Shake it some more. All right, now we'll put this one on top of the pink. Smash it down. All right, and then I'm just going to put enough glue to kind of hold this in place so I can stitch around it. So I'm trying to eyeball it, as they say. Okay. Very thick fog there. You've got some cooler weather. All right, we're going to go to the sewing machine. I haven't done that today. So, sewing alert, sewing lamp, and we're going to stitch around this outside edge. Let's go to the sewing machine. Apparently, I need to fix the camera a little bit. Yeah. So I'm just going to stitch a zigzag stitch. I got black thread in the upper and the lower. And we're going to kind of do it close to the edge here. When I'm doing paper to paper, I don't back stitch. If I wanted it to be more stable because it was part of the integrity of a pocket, I would probably back stitch, or it would be glued better. All right, let's see if I can get this turned around. Okay. I've got very narrow space where my sewing machine is. Okay. We got 2 sides left, or one and a half now. Okay. Turn around and stitch the other way. All right. Stitched. Alrighty. I think we're done with the sewing machine. And then this piece is going to go right here in the middle. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that down so that it can be drying as we work on the rest of the journal. You like that I'm sewing it down? Well, good. All right, so this is going to require a lot of glue. I think I may have to pull out another bottle because this one is almost empty. I probably should have turned on my hot glue gun and used that as well. So we'll see what happens. Well, I may have enough. Glue, 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 glue. I did go around the sides of this canvas with a gold leafing pen so that the edges weren't white, which is the right way. Okay. Try not to stick my fingers in the glue, right? I don't know what the French loop binding technique is. I've never heard of it. All right. So now I'm going to clean my hands. And I'm going to set this aside. I see a spot where I can put some glue. So this can dry. All right, here I have an oversized envelope, okay? And I've got a piece of, I don't know what you call this, backer board to one of the paper packs. And I've got another envelope, another backer board, and then this is the back paper that'll be on the journal. And so I went ahead and I cut a piece of cardstock. Just to save time, I did all these steps ahead of time. I cut a piece of cardstock that's approximately 3¼ inches wide by 12 inches wide, and just shy of 1 inch I scored the edges, so I kind of have a gusset or just the lap here, the overlap, and I covered it with fabric on both sides. So it's 2 layers of cardstock and 2 layers of fabric. So my thinking was this will be the inside of the journal. So I want to glue this as a sandwich between the outside cover and the envelope. So I need to come past the edge just slightly. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it down on my mat. And if I glue this down, I have to glue it straight. Okay. So this is just cardboard and this is fabric. So I'm just going to use the Aleene's Tacky Glue, which is really, really running now. I think I'm going to have to change what I'm doing. I'm going to clean off this glue. Yeah, that's way too runny. It was not going to stick. All right, I think I have another bottle here. I'm going to try to add some glue to this. Oh yeah, that's really runny. I think what I did was I wasn't paying attention to my bottle. I thought I had the one that was the new glue, but it was a bottle where I had added water to get all of the glue out of the bottle. And so I used it, and then I was like, oh, wait. And it was too much. Love a cold breeze coming in your window. That would be nice, wouldn't it? It's just really thick. Oh, I didn't know I had that on there. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to temporarily swap. This one should be better. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right, so I need to place this on here straight. But I want it to come past the edge just a tiny bit. Yeah, so just a little bit of a gap here. All right. And then this is the back, so I'm going to put this butt up against the back here as best I can. So I'm going to put glue on here. Okay. So I want the envelope to go that way. So I'm just going to put this down on top. Oh, no, I'm good. We're good. I don't have to do it yet. I got to remember to put the fabric on. So I'm going to write that on here. Ties. So that hopefully will remind me to put the ties on. Okay. So while this is craft colored, I thought, well, the rest of the journal is pink and blue. It'll be okay if this ends up a little bit more on the brown side for a moment. We may end up having time to decorate it, or we may not. I think I'm running out of time quickly. Apparently I'm making a mess with the glue. I'm gonna have to put this in my water later. Okay, so then on the other side, I've got another piece of this backer board that I want to put down, and I have another envelope. So the envelope's going to go to the inside. The backer board's going to go to the outside. So I'm going to put glue again on this edge when I find the glue. What are you doing, Dante? I think Dante is wondering how much longer I'm going to be. All right, so this side is not shiny, so I'm going to use it and do the same thing I did earlier, is just kind of push this close to the edge, but not all the way. And then lay that over gently. Try to give this a moment to dry. And then this envelope is going to go on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue in here. And I just realized that this is a coated paper, so it may not stick very well. Let's do this one. See if it's got enough. You always forget the closure ties. Yeah, it's easy to forget. Dante, what do you got? Did you get a piece of paper? He likes to chew up little pieces of paper. All right, so then this is going to go into the crevice here. And I don't want it to interfere. Okay. Trying to center it as best I can. All right. I'm going to put that up here. So now that I've got the main portion of the journal cover put together, and I think that one's a lot thinner, but I think by the time I put the front cover on here, that will thicken this up because it's got so many layers. I just need to let this dry for a moment. And I need to use my template and punch my pages, which I put somewhere. Here they are. No, that's not them. Oh, psh, they were covered up, so I could not see them. All right, so I've got all my pages here. And all I'm doing first is making sure that they're all nested together. And I've got a couple of these big binder clips I want to put in here. Do the same on this side. I guess I'm missing one. Okay. Now, I'm going to lay my 3-hole pamphlet stitch in here. And here's the tricky part. I don't need that, but I do need this. I'm going to punch holes, making sure I keep these papers all bead together. I know I'm probably off camera, but I'm trying to see what I'm doing, y'all. And then this one here. All right. Put the template away. And I think, as I said, that I want this to be the front cover. So we're going to line these up. I'm going to do 3 times the height of the journal and use wax linen thread. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. And trim. And then needle goes over there. All right, so I'm going to start in the middle. Go through the middle of the cover. I'm going to hang on to that string so I don't lose it. And we're going to go up through the cover. All right, I got to get it where I can see what I'm doing. I can't see what I'm doing. All right, let's do it this way. Oh, it did go up that way. Okay, fine. Well, I had it, and then there we go. We're almost there. Come on, work with me. Okay, gotta go back through the center. So I'm trying to keep the thread out of the way so I don't split it. All right, go back through the center. I hear Oreo. I saw pictures of Oreo today, so I'm thinking about him. I hear Dante in the other room playing with a toy. Okay. There. All right, so now I just need to tighten up all of these. So I'm going to look at it real closely and see if I don't have any loops or anything out there. So I don't need the needle anymore. You can go back in there. Don't need the awl anymore. Apparently I like to throw things on the floor. I was going through Facebook memories on my iPad because I can't use my phone. And there was some memories back when we first got Oreo, when I still had a dog named Spanky, and we had, did we already have Hercules then? Or was that just Turbo? I think we just had Turbo then. And then Spanky died, and we ended up getting Hercules later. All right, so that's going to be my center, and I'm not going to put anything on the ties just yet. So there's my cover innards done. And so now, as I remember, I'm going to take these two pieces of fabric. I've got a blue and a pink here. I'm going to cut them in half. Then I'm going to use my ruler, and at the 6-inch mark, let me get a pen. I'm going to go here and here, and we're going to use some fancy glue. Okay. I think I want this to be, yeah, this will be on top. So I'm going to put that right here. I'm going to add a little bit more glue here. Press that into place. And I think for an added, I'm going to get a piece of masking tape to put over that. Or not masking tape, packing tape. Just a little piece. What are you doing? Dante Pooh? Just to kind of keep it from immediately sliding right out. All right. So then we're going to flip it over. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come in here at 6 1/2. Okay, don't need that anymore. And this is paper, so I'm just going to use regular glue here. We're going to plop this in, that glue. I'm going to add, come here, a little bit more here. And then we'll tape it. And then we'll end up gluing our covers on. Mary, how are you? Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, another piece of packing tape. And then that goes down like that. Alrighty, so now we're at the point where I need to verify that I have this right side up, and I do. And I need my cover, which is this piece, which will be glued on top. I've got some fabric to glue down the spine, so I'll get that out in a moment. So hopefully by adding all these layers of paper on the front, it'll make it a lot sturdier. Okay. Yeah, don't make your pockets too deep. Yeah, he's here. He's just running around in the other room. He was playing with the wobble giggle balls, what we call it. One of our previous dogs loved that ball, and so we bought one for Dante, and Dante loves it. When he first got it, he wasn't big enough to put his mouth over it and carry it, and now he's big enough that he can get his mouth positioned just right and pick it up. Yes, that was packing tape, just a little bit of packing tape. You could use masking tape as well. I didn't have any masking tape, so I used the packing tape back here just to help hold that fabric so that it doesn't pull out before that glue dries. And then this is just another piece of cardstock that I put two pieces together because this back piece is a lot thicker than what I used on the front. Using what I have, y'all. Using it all up. So if you have some ugly papers, just cover them up. Put another piece of paper on it. Use them as a sandwich of papers to be sturdy enough for your project. All right, so now I'm just going to cover the cardstock. All righty. And now I am going to open this up, slide this over, and somewhere I have my little stamp that said this journal made by. I'm going to stamp it right here. Wasn't very dark, but it's good enough. And somewhere I have a pen. Is this going to be a good enough pen? Yeah. We'll go out this way. And this was 7 of 27, 26. All right, so now let's put our things back in the pockets. So I can do that. So this went down here, and these were up here, or vice versa. I don't know. I think this one was up here because it was shorter. And then this was kind of just stuck in there. And flip that over. So you kind of get to see it being put back together. And it sure made it a lot easier not having to worry about things falling out of the pockets. So put that there. I don't know if this is where this went. So we're just going to make do with what we have. Does this go up here? Maybe, possibly. Yeah. Go in there. Okay. And then this went, oh, this must have went here. Well, what went in here? Maybe I didn't have anything in there. Okay. Here's the next pile. So this went in here. I think that went back here. Oh, I guess I did the same thing. All right, so this one goes here. So we have an empty pocket here that I can come back and add something to, or if I end up selling this journal. I haven't put any journals up for sale in a long time. It just takes so much time to take all the photos and do a video. Oh, I guess I didn't pull that page out. I think all of those are still there. Okay, this page. And this goes on this side. All right, so these went under here, like that. And these went in here, like that. This went over here, and this went over here. This went behind. Can make it where you can see it a little better. Flip that over. This is going to be our giant card. So I'll have to maneuver the journal down a little bit. Isn't it hard sometimes when there's a lot, you don't remember what was that? What went where? This one is pretty easy, as this goes here, and this one went here. And it's just enough sticking out the top. All right. And then over here we had this little journal card. Oh, you can't see it. Little journal card. And then another one of those giant pocket cards. And these, I think this one there. And I think we put, let's see, let's put this one here. maybe that one there. Yeah, put that here. This is going to be our large little folio that I made out of an old planner and just added a bunch of papers to. And this is going to go behind. You could stick it where it's poking out just a little bit if you want. And we have another one of these oversized journal cards that I added a pocket to, and then added another card with pockets. It's one chunky journal. All right, so this is going to go there. This is going to go over here. So this was a journal page that I'd set up, and then I made cards to go in the pockets. So we have a large pocket here, and then we have some more journal cards that I made to add to the pocket. So we had lots of texture and big and small pieces. Then on this side we had a large card, and then some blue elements and a little faux envelope. But yeah, and this was a big file folder that I ended up just adding a few things to. Has a little pocket there. And this will fit here. I made lots of these oversized journal cards. There's another page element that I made and has some journal cards. This has got another one tucked up here on the front. And then this is going to go in there. We're almost to the front. We're getting there. All right, so then these are going to go in here, like so. Oh, wait, I think one goes over here. I think that's this one. Yeah, okay. Hi, Dante. What you want, buddy? Do you need to go outside? I may need to go take him out and finish this in just a moment. Hang on, Dante. Do you need to go outside? Wanna go out? Okay, we're gonna go out. We'll be right back. Okay, hurry, hurry. I'll open the door. Hurry. Get over there. Open the door. Oh, we did shred some paper on the floor. Thanks a lot, Dante. All right, so then these go over here. Dante has finally learned how to push a door open. For the longest, he wouldn't do it, but he finally did. It's kind of funny because he would always stand at the bathroom door and whine. All right, and I think all of these just go in here. Lots of layers. And then these go in here. Just kind of added them as elements there. And then this page think about making your own shabby chic backgrounds with paints and stamps and stencils. Oh my, why not? All right, that'll go in there. This goes in there. This is some stationery. There's some just papers. So you have options, and then there's the front cover. And I could have made this spine thicker. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I chose I figured a little over 1 inch was good enough, and it was okay that it kind of has a fluffy look to it. I don't know. I hope you liked seeing this. You know, just the whole concept of this giant journal was a lot of fun. I think next week I'm going to grab scraps. You know, like I have this piece of scrap. What can I make with it? Maybe make a belly band or make some embellishments to put on pages. I like it. I like it a lot. I hope y'all like it too. I hope that it has inspired you to do some creating, to come up with some your own ideas using the supplies you have to make a fun journal that fits your theme or mood. I'll tie this. Let's see how it looks. I have to put it in my lap so I can get a hold of the whole thing. Oh yeah, and I forgot to glue down the spine. Well, we'll do it off camera, but I've got some more of this pink fabric, and so I'm going to glue that right down the spine here. I'll kind of tip it up so y'all can see. I'm just going to glue that right down the middle, and so it'll cover up the stitches when I made the journal. Did you like it? All right. Well, if you did, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Do something creative this week. Get in your space, get your supplies out, play around, have some fun, do something different, try something new. If you're interested in a technique, look it up and see how to do it. Watch some videos, go to some blogs, watch them blogs. Don't click on anything while you're on those blogs. I went to a blog the other day, I was looking for instructions for something, and every other paragraph was an advertisement. I was so annoyed. It's like, ugh, I get it. You got to find a way to pay for your blog or your website, but I don't need all these ads. I have enough of them. I need to turn on an ad blocker. What else? Know that I care about y'all. I hope that you're having a great week. I hope that this week coming ahead is good for you. If you are needing some silent prayer requests made, just say silent prayer request in the comments, or even leave it down below as a comment after this video. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And try to do something kind this week for somebody else. You never know what they're going through. It could be that your smile, your hello, your oh, you look nice today, or whatever it may be that you say or do to someone else in a positive way will make their day that much better. And have an amazing week. Do something fun, like I said, and know that you're loved. That would be annoying. It is annoying. I hate going to websites like that. Y'all take care. We'll see you next week. I guess I got to get to the screen where I can actually get out of here. Again, if you have suggestions of things you would like to see me do, next week I'm going to do scraps. I've got a bunch of scraps on my desk. I think I'm just going to get some scraps and put up a pile, and then let's just make some stuff with them. Have them for whatever necessary down the line type of a thing. Thank you for your time, your donations, your love, all of that. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all take care. Lots of love to everybody. Bye-bye.